Now back to where the action is. WICR.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first edition of Inside the Locker Room, bringing the DMV to the NYC. My name is Ryan McFadden, a freshman here at Iona, with my partner, Elijah Ware. How's it going, Eli?
How's it going, Ryan? I'm a freshman as well. Waldorf, Maryland, bringing the DMV to the NYC.
Yeah, that's one thing about both of us. We're both from Maryland. Surprisingly, when we first met, we did not know each other.
Right.
And we met at Welcome Day. He said, "Hey, where you from?" I said, "Maryland." He said, "Me too." I said, "Where you?" He said, "What part of Maryland?" "Waldorf, Upper Marlboro." We did not know we were 15 minutes away from each other.
Right.
So this show's about mainly, we're going to do a little bit different from other shows on WICR, which talk about mainly New York sports and sports in general. We're going to go talking about a little bit of high school sports, as well as talking about sports back at home. And to kick things off is a topic that always concerns me, and it concerns Eli as well.
Yeah.
And it deals with high school sports. Mainly, to me, basketball. Football is a little bit different, and we get into that later. And other sports are high school tryouts overrated? Eli, what you think? What's your answer to that?
I believe that they are. More times than not, high school coaches really have their team selected before the season really starts. I mean, there's a couple players that can come here and there that'll make the team just because they have just pure raw talent, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of kids aren't really given a fair chance.
Yeah.
Simply because they weren't with the team beforehand. They weren't a returner from last year, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really not. It's fair, but it's not completely fair, you know?
Yeah, that's one thing. I kind of agree with you on that. And it's like the team, especially when you talk about high school basketball, over the summer you got the AAU going on,
Mm-hmm.
then you got people on ESPN ranking high school athletes.
Right.
And the way they rank them is that they're already on the team no matter what.
Right.
For example, they got maybe like class of 2017 top 100, and you got the number one player. You really think the head coach is going to cut the number one player in the country?
Right.
He already has a spot not only on the team but in college.
Right.
I think sometimes, all right, we can say coaches look for the best talent. All right, I can agree with you on that one. But I still think it's something up like, it's something like fishy about it.
Right.
It's something in my gut. It was talking about like they already know. So basically, you're going out there maybe competing for, I'll say maybe like 2 to 3 spots.
Right.
Whereas on a 15-man roster, because everyone else is completely filled. And one good example of it is Oak Hill. I saw on Twitter one time, Oak Hill already has their roster. The head coach put their roster out for this upcoming season, in the summertime.
Right. You know those powerhouse schools like that, like Oak Hill, DeMatha, Montrose Christian, you know.
Yeah, then you got Monteverde and down in Florida. But back Oak Hill, you can't put the roster out in the summertime. This is not college. It's not the NBA.
Right.
Like as soon as Harry Giles, who's arguably the number one player in the 2016 class, and he's a heck of a player. I'm not going to dish him on that. But as soon as he said, "Okay, I'm going to Oak Hill," head coach types up a roster and puts it out on Twitter. I'm like, I'm looking at my phone like, are you serious?
Right.
You can't really do that.
It's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, what about the other people in that school wants to try for the basketball team?
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna try for manager?
Right. Well, certain schools like that, people go to that school for a specific reason, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So more times than not, they know what they're gonna be doing at the school. They know if they're not gonna be playing basketball or playing basketball, you know.
Yeah.
So I think certain schools have that luxury as to where they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But public schools and charter schools and things like that,
Yeah.
it's really not fair because especially with the high school kid, you're being watched the whole time.
Yeah.
You really can't make any mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's being held against you. You're not playing your game, and basketball is a sport where high confidence is very important.
Yeah.
And when you're playing timid and not playing with confidence, then you're not gonna play your best.
Yeah, and one thing I was mentioned about Eli, this is coming from an expert. He played varsity basketball at Westlake, the school he came from. So
state runner-up 2 years straight. Shaking my head.
But yeah, I didn't play basketball in 4 years at DeMatha. Of course, Yeah, I'm a sports writer. That's my dream. One day, hopefully, I can make a living out being a sports writer or something like that. But I still think you gotta give. It makes people that want to go to a school and they lose their confidence because certain schools. Because now you're not only trying to look for a school for education, but if you want to play basketball, now you're looking for a school where you can have a chance to make a team.
Right.
And I've seen that a lot of that back during my time in high school, where kids would have to they wouldn't go to a certain school because they know they don't have a shot playing basketball at that school, even though they want to go to that school. So they might go transfer, or they might not even think about going there. Now it's actually becoming where high school basketball is turned to college basketball now.
Right.
Not only coaches are scouting players when they're in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade, kids have to make certain decisions on where they're going to get the playing time.
Right.
Which I know teams want to win the championship, but I think kids are still too young. Especially you got to think about 8th grade.
Yeah.
It's still we still got to remember these are kids.
Yeah.
I know about winning a championship, but you got kids, and there's more to life than when it comes to in sports. Now, I'm not saying sports is a bad thing. I love sports, and I commend anyone who plays sports. I commend anyone that works hard and to play at the next level. But you still got coaches, parents. Still got to remember these are kids. But yeah, I think I agree with Eli. I really think high school tryouts are overrated. I really do. I don't think certain teams give kids the chance because they already have their team in line. Sometimes they have it years in advance. Well, we're gonna change. We're gonna change from that topic, and we're not gonna be talking about the New York Giants or the Jets. We're gonna be talking about our hometown team, the Washington Redskins, who surprisingly they beat the St. Louis Rams, a team that beat the Super Bowl champion
The
Seattle Seahawks.
runner-up. You know,
Runner-up. But
that carry.
yeah. So, what you think of the Washington Redskins' performance?
I was satisfied. Definitely could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot worse than what we did. But you know, as a Redskin fan, we're just happy. We're always happy to get a win.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because we've been down at the bottom of the league for a couple years now. You know.
Yeah, most definitely. I love when the Washington Redskins win. I love it.
Yeah. It just feels good. Sports can either make your day or break your day. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's just a great feeling when the Washington Redskins win. And Matt Jones.
Oh yeah.
Who?
Matt Jones.
Who?
Matt Jones. Oh, love that. That got him and Alfred Morris together. Oh, that's gonna be something to watch.
Yeah.
That's gonna be something to watch.
And I told people, I was like, watch out. Matt Jones got more carries than Alfred Morris.
Yeah.
Today, you know, because he's a different back.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Alfred Morris, don't get me wrong, he's a heck of a running back, but Matt Jones has speed. You saw that touchdown run up the sideline when he just.
Oh yeah.
He has speed, power, agility. He's a freak. Went to Florida. Was a great running back at Florida. Surprised he didn't go higher in the draft. But I guess we got to steal, and we'll see how he holds up. And we need to run the football.
Yeah, we do.
80% of the time.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Don't get me wrong. He had a heck of a.
23 for 27.
Yeah, but he still adjusted the starting role. And another thing I would say, he still has that tendency to throw interceptions. But they got to run that football. Yeah. That's the key to their victory. They ran that football. Alfred Morris, if they can keep on doing that all year, they got something big going on.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's definitely entertaining to see the football being thrown up and down the field, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you just have to know your personnel. You have to know what team you have, you know. And don't get me, we definitely have weapons in the passing game, but we just have to learn how to utilize them better, you know. And I think our biggest weapon right now is our running game.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
We got next opponents Thursday Night Football against the New York Giants, a team that cannot find a way to close out games. They have played on Sunday Night Football last week and lost to the Cowboys, even though they had the lead. Going to this game against the Atlanta Falcons, had the lead once again, lost at the last second. Now they're 0-2. What do you think the Redskins need to do to get a win out of there?
Then we just need to, like I said, run the football. Run, block, and tackle. You know, the basics of football. Because in the NFL, sadly, these are NFL players, professionals, but the tackling is horrendous most times. And we need to protect Kirk Cousins, give him time to make good decisions. And he needs to make those good decisions. And I think if we do those things, we'll come out with the win.
Yeah, another thing I want to talk about the Redskins is RG3. And I saw this this morning. It was a report that came out on Bleacher Report where he's isolating himself from the team. He doesn't want to have nothing to do with Kirk Cousins, nothing to do with the team. And I can understand what they did to him. But another thing is you never know what's going to happen during this season. Right now, you don't know. RG3 might start this season because Kirk Cousins could got hurt. Or they don't want to work with him no more. It shows the lack of leadership. I think during a time where this is a time for RG3 where he needs to know if not. I'll say this. Take that back. RG3 needs to be more mature at this time. This show and in practice, he needs to work much harder. Because, like I said,
you never know when that next opportunity is going to be. And not only that,
you gotta look at if next year, let's say he gets traded. Let's say they let him go. And he wants to at least have a spot on the team whatever team that picks him up. So, I think this whole issue, Redskins, even though they got the win, I still don't see them going past 6-10. The most I give them, I'll give 6-10, 7-9. I cannot see them doing any better. Not actually.
The NFC East isn't looking too strong this year.
Tony Romo, Dez Bryant. Oh my gosh.
You got the Eagles not looking too good.
Yeah. Giants. But even though the Redskins, they got too much going on there.
Yeah.
It's not what on the field, it's off the field. And sometimes that messes with the players because they can't stay focused to football.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are grown men. These are professionals. They should. The off the field issues should just be able to handle themselves,
Yeah.
So, I think we'll be okay. I predict us to go at least 9-7, 10-6, 11-5 at the best.
Yeah.
Just because we should be able to dominate the NFC East with all the Tony Romo out for 2 to 2.5 months. Dez Bryant out. Brandon Whedon actually played pretty good, though, when he came in. So we'll see how he holds up. Then the New York Giants, they're not looking too strong this year. Although it's a long season, they can turn around. And then you got the Philadelphia Eagles. Their season isn't looking too strong either so far. But, anything can happen. It's a long season. And hopefully the Washington Redskins prevail.
Yeah, and NFC East, that's a whole mess. One thing for the Washington Redskins advantage, like you said, it's wide open now. Where going to the season, it wasn't. If Dez Bryant didn't get hurt, Tony Romo didn't get hurt, I think I'm going for Dallas. And I won't sleep on the New York Giants.
No, of course not.
I can't sleep on the New York Giants. But one thing I'm really mad about, I have DeMarco Murray on my fantasy team.
2 yards rushing.
And he has 2 yards rushing, so I'm trading him. I thought, all right, hey, he did good last year, but I guess he couldn't live up to them high expectations.
I mean, I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't trade him just yet. He might,
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. Oh yeah, most definitely, I'm still thinking about it.
But he hasn't had over 10 yards rushing in the game yet this year, so we'll see. That Dallas offensive line was just monstrous, and he had open holes every play. And my uncle, he actually told me, he was like, he's not that good. I'm telling you.
Who, DeMarco?
Yeah. And I guess he's possibly getting exposed now. So.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna go back, continue talking about the DMV, and we're gonna go on the basketball side of things, talking about the Wizards and giving our all-decade team from 2005 to 2015.
Let's go.
This is Inside the Locker Room, bringing the DMV to UMC on WICR Radio.